finally here. Thank God. I have felt like I couldn't do anything today until I got this package, just because I'm so excited to open it. So I'm very happy. I've literally just sat in my bed with my windows open, looking outside the window, waiting for the mailbox to get here. Waiting for the mailman to get here, or checking my phone to see like when the delivery was coming. All for something that I really should not have bought in the first place, but it's okay because they were having their sale again. So if you haven't seen my last book outlet haul, go ahead and check it out. I'll have it in the cards above. And this time I only got 3 books. I think the last time I got 7, but I was trying to stay tamed this time, and also there weren't too many that I like really felt like I needed or wanted. Because honestly, I haven't read a single one of the books I bought last time. So I see like so many TikToks of people talking about how hard it is to actually get this like little perforated peel to work, but we're hoping that it'll work today. And it immediately is not working. So first book I got was 7 Days in June. Let me take the sticker off. And I feel like I did this the last time, talking about how annoying the Target stickers are. Especially now that I have nails on. I'll be back. Never mind, it's actually impossible to get this stupid sticker off. I've been looking forward to this book forever, and I was just waiting for it to go on sale again, because the first sale they had, they were all sold out of the hardcover, or actually they were sold out of all of the 7 Days in June's book like copies, and I wasn't able to get it last time, but I just waited once again for the $5.99 all fiction sale and I was able to get 7 Days in June, so I'm very excited for it. It's kind of like a contemporary romance, I think, but it has more traumatizing. I've heard that it has a bit more not like trauma, but like a bit more dramatic parts into it, so I'm really looking forward to it. Not because of that, but I haven't heard much about this book. It's called Mona by Paula Olezark. I don't know, I'm very sorry. I didn't want to butcher it, but I also didn't want to pass over it. Basically, she's a Peruvian writer and she wins an award in Scandinavia, and she flies there to accept the award, but basically it's a story about the fixation of diversity, and really how the fixation on having diversity in places sometimes actually excludes more people of color than it does include them. I think this is an incredibly interesting story just because I did go to a PWI so it was very interesting walking around campus and knowing like whenever the campus photographers came around that it was bound for a picture to be taken of me, but I was really interested in it, and it's a pretty short book. So, and I did read a sample of it. I think I read like the first maybe chapter of it and was immediately hooked, and then once again it wasn't on sale, and then it was on sale but not for like the $5.99 one, which I could only imagine that they would have that sale again, so I just waited. So I'm very excited. Let's see. Oh my goodness, and without the dust jacket it's so nice. I really like the black of this. I like how it's, I don't know, I like this. I like how this feels in my hand. I didn't even look at what under the dust jacket looked like for 7 Days in June. Let's see. Oh, it's cute. It's fairly simple as to be expected. Foiling. I love when a hardcover has foiled edges, a foiled spine. I used to be a hardcore anti-hardcover person, but the more that I get them, the more I kind of enjoy them. I don't know, like it makes me feel like a real reader, if that makes sense. But I actually really am starting to grow on a hardcover book. I'm very upset that the sticker won't come off this cover, but a sticker has never come across me and not been taken off a book before, so I will get that off at a different time. Then last but not least, I have been looking forward to this book for so long. I remember reading like a sample of it on iBooks in April, I think, and I read the whole sample, couldn't find it anywhere at Barnes & Noble. And it also, like, it was when I wasn't that big of a fan of a hardcover book and I didn't want to just buy it at like its regular $27 price, just because that's not something I can rationalize spending on a book, on one book, maybe on a couple of them, but not just one book. But I've been looking forward to this book forever, and I finally was able to find it. It felt like literally a miracle that this book was on Book Outlet. Like, I had no clue that it was on its way there, and I could have sworn that they usually only pull books from like Target overstock on Book Outlet, but I've never seen this in Target, which is why I was so surprised that it was on Book Outlet. But anywho, I got Acts of Desperation by Megan Nolan, and this is about a story of a woman who starts to fall in love with this man. And I think it's such an interesting story because the woman is never given a name in the book, to my understanding. Like, she's not named, and it's just basically how all-consuming she becomes with this fascination and obsession with this man. And it's also like something that I've seen a lot on TikTok with the unhinged woman tag, but I really loved the sample of this that I read, so I'm so excited that I was able to find it on Book Outlet for $5.99 for the hardcover and this cover, because I saw that there were some other covers of this book that were pink with another like woman on the cover of it, and I wasn't in love with it. So I'm so happy that it's this cover that I was able to get. But yes, these were the books that have had me in a grip for the past week and a half, waiting for them to get here, and I'm very excited that they're finally here. Oh, let's look at Underneath the Dust Jacket. Oh, classy, the white and black. I like it. It's not foiled, but it still looks nice, which is always all we can ask for. Now, the one thing I do hate with hardcovers and pretty much all books is the fact that they aren't in a standard size. Like, why? It's a really petty complaint to have, I'm aware, but I know I'm not the only one to have this complaint. The fact that all of these books came in different sizes is kind of annoying, but it's okay. We have them. The issue we're running into now is that my bookshelf is actually quite full, and I don't necessarily know where this is going to fit on that bookshelf. Excuse the plane. But I do have a cart, like a utility cart that I had from college in my dorm that I used as like my pantry, but it's just been sitting in the garage now, and it's kind of beat up because it's been painted a couple times and it really needs to be touched up. But I'm thinking I could convert it to like a book cart that I've seen on TikTok. I know, not revolutionary at all nor original, but it seems to be functioning. I don't know if functionary is a word, but it seems to be a good function of a spare furniture part that I have. I'm going to put a pause on reading and go ahead and set up the book cart to see if I like it, and if not, like, it's not that big of a deal. I can just put it back in the garage. Also, a quick reading update, because I truly have no clue what this vlog looks like, because I don't know. I didn't whip out the camera with any kind of purpose. I just said, let me pull out the camera, this might be fun. And I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of clips out with that. I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of clips with the same idea behind them of no purpose, just truly no plot, just vibes. So, a quick reading update. I did finish All's Well. I'm pretty sure that's like the book that I start this vlog with, because I have clips of me reading that one and I haven't mentioned it, but I think I may have talked about it in my last video. I truly cannot remember, but I did finish All's Well, and I really liked it. But I think I liked it more because I'm convincing myself that I liked it so much because I forced myself to finish it, because I do not believe in paying for books and not finishing them. So I didn't hate it, okay? I definitely didn't hate the book. It was just much slower and a little trickier to get into than Bunny was. And I think just because, not because I was comparing the two, but definitely because it's a different writing style, I think, and the story's a bit slower than Bunny is, and it's more of an internal story rather than, I believe Bunny's more of an external story, because you're dealing with more characters in Bunny, and really in All's Well you're truly only dealing with the main character, Miranda, and her like fall into psychosis because of her pain, and also like her overcoming the pain. So I did enjoy the book in the lyrical sense of the writing. Wasn't in love with the ending, definitely wasn't. A lot of it's left to interpretation, which I don't hate when it comes to media, because I definitely think my own personal take in creating is leaving a lot of things up to interpretation. But I think I would have liked a little more. A little more and a little less in the page count, but that was All's Well. It was really hard for me to get through. I think I bought it in like April, I'm pretty sure, and then I picked it up a couple times between April and now, and then I finally like fully committed to reading it in November, I believe the beginning of this month, and I didn't finish it until like probably 7 days later, which by no means is like that bad because it takes me a long time to read a book anyways, but it was an effort to pick up the book and an effort to continue to turn the pages. So on the other side of that, I'm reading Legendborn. I truly have no clue what's going on outside. The planes are really planning today, but I picked up Legendborn, and I like for the longest time had hesitations with reading this book just because I wasn't quite convinced that I felt like going back into YA books or back into YA stories. But after reading All's Well, I was like, no. I can't do another literary fiction book right now. I can't. I need something fun and easy and simple on the mind. And Legendborn is 100% serving in that, okay? It's definitely giving fun, funky, fresh, but also it's giving she's 16 years old, and I can't judge her and her actions because of that. But I'm definitely enjoying Legendborn. I started it last Friday, I believe, and by the end of the weekend last Friday I had already read like over 300 pages of it, which is kind of shocking to me considering I think one of those days I didn't read at all. So I think I like spent all of Sunday reading because I had horrible cramps coming, and then I had Friday off, so I also read most of the day on Friday, and I think Saturday we gallivanted around town a bit, so I read in the car a little bit, and I think I read a little bit at night. But and then I didn't get to read much at all during the week because of stupid work, but I have finally picked up the book again and I'm loving it. I'm on page 380 out of about 480 pages. Yeah, about like 489 pages of the book. So I only have 100 pages left and I'm so hooked to it. I am really enjoying Brie, and I think like I like it so much because it's kind of a, well, first of all, let me like be honest, I had no clue about the King Arthur story. If you don't know, Legendborn is a King Arthur retelling, or like, I don't know, like is retelling the correct word? I guess, maybe, but it's based off of the King Arthur legend and myth, and I had no clue what that was. I could not for the life of me remember who the heck King Arthur was. And even when I was looking it up, I was like, Google, you're supposed to be giving me the answer and you're not. So I ended up just like trying to find a movie, and I ended up watching the King Arthur movie with Charlie Hunnam in it and Jude Law. I was like, I need to do some research, do some homework so I can maybe understand what the heck this book is talking about. So on Saturday, I ended up putting the book down, watching the movie, still greatly confused because I wasn't making any sense, because unfortunately the movie I picked did really horribly in the box office and didn't get its full series made. So it was really bad understanding what the heck the legend is about, until I got to the end of the movie and I realized that King Arthur is quite literally the Lion King. That being said, I am really enjoying Brie. I don't want to spoil anything because I'm not a fan of spoilers, but Tracy's doing her thing. I am very excited to read Blood Marked. It is on the wish list. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on some music, maybe watch a YouTube video, maybe put on a TV show. I don't know. And we're going to work on the book cart. Okay, so I didn't actually realize how many unread books I actually have on my bookshelf. And it's a little embarrassing, but we will survive. I'm going to do a quick rundown of every book that I have not read, minus two nonfiction memoirs. I don't know, two nonfiction books that are over there that I haven't picked up. These are all of my unread books that I'm going to try to do a TBR cart. I've never really seen the purpose of a TBR cart, but we're gonna try it out. First, we have the books that I just got. We have Happy Hour again that I mentioned in my November TBR. Supper Club, Ace of Spades, People We Meet on Vacation. I've tried reading this book plenty of times, and I even took it with me on vacation and didn't read it, but I still holding out hope for it because I really like to beach read. I have Donna Tartt's The Secret History. It's just gonna take me a long time to read it. Okay, it's thick and little. And then we have The Bell Jar, which is also a book that I've started to read, and I think I've mentioned in a vlog before that I do like it. It just makes me feel like I'm gonna be in a depressive episode every time I read a sentence on it. So I have not yet committed to reading this book yet. Song of Achilles, I got this for Christmas last year, so I definitely want to finish reading this before the end of the year because it's been on the TBR incredibly too long, and it's also another book that I feel like I'm gonna be really sad and cry about when I read it, so it's why I haven't read it yet. Pretty Things by Janelle Brown. I've picked this book up randomly because I liked the cover and I kind of liked the premise of it. Read a couple pages, didn't fall in love with it, haven't picked it up since. Such a Fun Age. I've heard very mixed reviews about this book, but I ended up getting it because I found it for a pretty cheap price, and I just haven't been able to get myself to finish reading it yet. Also, Circe, picked up randomly with very little knowledge of it. Read a couple pages of it, didn't fall in love with it immediately, but I do know it's also one of those books that I think is gonna make me sad when I read it, so I've been holding off on it. The Truth Will Set You Free, But First It'll Piss You Off by Gloria Steinem. Then my mom gave me this book when I was in a mental episode. Get Out of Your Head I actually really like this book, and I've been reading it slowly whenever I feel like I'm having a bad day. But this book is really helpful. There's also a journal along with it, but I don't have it, but I like this a lot. A poetry book also gifted to me from my mother. I actually also really like this book, but I don't feel like it's a book that you need to like speed through and read quickly, so I just every now and then pick it up and read a few poems. But All Along You Were Blooming, I also think it's a really pretty cover. Yet another book that I randomly picked up, Lovers and All Saints Day. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. It's a little bit different. It's a collection of stories, and I want to read it in February, but I also said that this year, so at this point I just need to pick it up and read it. Finally, the books that I mentioned in my last book outlet haul, Walhalla by Nikki May, A Very Nice Girl by Imogen Crimp, of course, My Pride and Prejudice of Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and then also Night Shift by Kiara Ladner. I think that's how you say her name. Let's see, how many books are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I only have 25 unread books, okay? That's not bad. That is not bad, okay? And I am gonna ask for more for Christmas. It's okay. Like I always say, there could be other worse obsessions that I have. At least this one is quite wholesome and truly hurts no one. But we're gonna go ahead and try to put it on the cart.